baby. We live in Brooklyn, baby.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Insanity Check again. Did you like that last story?
Yay.
We're gonna make it, baby.
So what are we going to go to now, man? We're going to go to that angering piece of shit right there.
Yeah, man, it's on here. We're going to go to it.
And that's going to lead right into the next one, too. So a little blurb, but...
You fucking Bob Ross?
Yes. For you old people that don't remember Bob Ross out there, white dude, afro, and he always talk like this. You know, we're going to paint a little tree, and the tree's going to have a little company. There's a little owl in the tree, and a little log cabin, but the log cabin has to have some light, so we're going to put a little flame here.
Or you can YouTube the Boondocks, the episode Riley Was Here. They
that's right, yeah.
depicted Bob Ross in that episode.
Yeah, man.
Good old Bob Ross.
Yeah, it's a great-
Every time he thought he was going to fuck a picture up, which was almost every single day.
He always turned
saved
it around, which
Always
was
saved
amazing. I mean, because, yeah, you're right. 3/4 of the day. Fuck you.
I'm not even saying anything negative. I was just about to say that to me, it always seemed like he was painting the same exact picture over and over again.
Well, it's the same elements.
It's the same,
Usually
right.
the same elements.
Yeah, no. What it basically was
There were nature scenes.
nature scenes, so his palette was the same. So when you look at something, even if it's 5 different type of cabins, if you're using the same color palette, it's like a producer of music. If you use the same sounds over and over again, even if it's a different beats per minute, it's gonna sound. And that's how it was. But I mean, the dude was nasty. I mean, he, as far as in that particular technique, you can call him a hack or whatever you wanted. But like Ken said, he would take some shit that looked like garbage, and at the end of that joint, it was like, yo.
And it was a nice,
Yeah.
beautiful painting, a nature landscape.
Yeah, I mean, his technique
I
was.
wonder how he got that show, though.
Yo, I have no idea.
He was clearly a hippie. You know, he had a,
He clearly looked like he didn't belong on TV.
well, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
but
I mean-
see, but again, that was back in the days when it was your talent and ability that got you.
Because
the shit,
you remember
as
that
opposed
was
to,
when
how you
on
look.
PBS. Remember that at that time, Yankan Cook was on there. The Galloping
Yeah,
Gourmet. Remember
Yan Can
Yankan?
Cook, yeah.
Yankan Cook.
Yeah.
The Galloping Gourmet was on there.
If Yan can't cook, you can too.
Yeah, Yankan Cook. Justin Wilson was
Love
on
that
there.
old dude.
Justin Wilson was on there, and you still had Julia Childs on there.
Yeah, this was before the Food Network and all
Yeah,
that
before
shit.
all that stuff, and this is when public, when you wanted to hear a lot of the alternative stuff and different types of entertainment, classical, whatever it is, you went to public broadcasting system. You got your electric company, you got your Sesame Street, which everyone knows, those particular shows. But nah, man, Bob Ross used to hold it down for the arts back in the days, man, the fine arts.
Good old Bob Ross.
Yes.
Well,
Rest in peace, man.
yeah. He would have been resting in peace had he had dealt with these pigs.
Oh, yeah.
That we're about to talk about.
Yeah, they would have busted him for vandalism or some shit like that.
So if you saw last week's show, we discussed the Kimani Gray, the 15-year-old kid who was blasted down by the pigs in our neighborhood, East Flatbush, Crown Heights, Brooklyn. I ran through about 7 different pig shootings where everyone got killed in each of the 7 shootings. Each of every black person got killed.
We need to have a pig sound effect on the show.
Sadly, I lost about 80% of my sound effects as well.
Oh, Dizzle, are you serious?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so if you notice, I'm limited with sound effects today. That's
Yeah.
the
Well,
reason.
you can.
I'll make them.
Do it with your mouth.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And we got to do it old school
Yeah.
for real here today.
But again, to recap, so you have these 7 different pig shootings of these black youth, black men, period. The 7 men died, and altogether the grand total of time, of prison time,
18
administered to these pigs was 23 months.
23 months, okay.
7 people killed, 23 total months of punishment, if you want to call it that.
If you want to call it.
So now we're heading over to Nebraska. Nebraska police chase down man video recording their abuse while second man records it all. So basically, some cat was getting ransacked by the pigs. Was his brother was recording it?
And
so then the cops...
And you definitely got to cut this up and put this on there so they can see.
Right.
So they can see what's going on. So,
and then the pigs went and hemmed up the brother who was recording.
Yeah.
And chased him into the house.
Chased him into the house, pushed over this old broad that
but
was
it was
in there.
all being recorded by a second man
That they didn't know about.
across the street.
And they literally, they told the first guy to put his hands on the hood. You know, they came up behind him, threw him in a headlock, threw him in a yoke, brought him down to the floor, and immediately started giving him some serious head work. You know, some MMA head work. Quick. Then the next officer came over and put the knee in his throat. So they'd roused him and given him the business on the floor. The other guy's recording, and he's yelling, you know, I see what you're doing. It's illegal. You know, he can't breathe, all this other stuff while recording. And eventually, when the next cruiser came, they decide, you know what? We've had enough of you and your right to record or whatever you're doing. So they chase this guy in the house. All he's doing is recording with his phone. Push over.
To the grandmother.
His grandma, you know, shoved that.
Who was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, it's literally, if you got people remember that Richard Widmark film, think about it. Richard Widmark, old lady in a chair, down some stairs, same scenario, shoved the old lady aside, and obviously since the footage never came out, they destroyed the camera and broke the SIM card. But if you want to get some details, because I have some pointers for you guys afterwards, but if you want, you know.
Oh yeah, so I'm just going to give you the official breakdown according to this story. Omaha police displayed an unbridled street gang brazenness when they chased a man who was video recording them abusing his brother into a private home, confiscating his phone and arresting him to ensure their actions would never see the light of day. However, another citizen captured the entire incident on video from a second-floor window, ensuring at least the facade of an internal investigation. Police also arrested a third brother inside the home they entered without a warrant, not to mention they knocked over a woman in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
The police claim the woman in the wheelchair was knocked over by Jaquez as he ran from officers. Mm-hmm. But of course, the beauty of it is that, where is it? Police. Well, you know, of course, the beautiful thing I love about the pigs is that no matter what type of evidence you have in front of them,
It's got to be investigated.
yeah, that we have nothing to say. But chief, isn't that your officer kicking the teeth out of this guy on the ground? We have to do an investigation to find out what happened. Because of course there always has to be some type of justification for breaking people's arms, shooting them in the back, knocking out their teeth, all types of shit. And you know, and back to the fucking the Abner Louima case where the cops ransacked this dude's asshole with the arm of a plunger and then broke his teeth out with same said plunger. You know,
That's insanitary.
It's quite vile. But I remember
to switch plungers.
Yeah, at least.
No. Get the other plunger.
Yeah, literally, because I mean, you know, they pay those hoes in the movies big money for ass to mouth scenes.
exactly.
They do.
They do.
I remember our mayor. Who was the mayor? Was that Giuliani, right? Was
Yeah,
it Giuliani?
or Stinkins. I mean Dinkins.
Well, even with everyone, I remember these fucks, you know, having to come out and like, we have to do an investigation to determine what happened. You know, they're doing all this. We have to wait and see. We have to make sure we blah, 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 blah. And then when it's like, okay, yeah, these fucking cops shot these people. These fucking cops raped this guy in his ass with a plunger on the... Where's the fucking mayor? Where's the Jesus Christ? I don't know what's going on in my department. Where's the, you know, we have to get these people out of here. Where's the, we have to retool our system for finding qualified individuals to be law enforcement officers. Where's the, we have to find the right people to carry a gun and a badge and give them all the fucking power that they have or that they think they have when they ride around the streets, blocking traffic, two-way parking, and all the rest of the bullshit the fucking pigs do because they can do anything they want.
Well, I mean, is this the rhetorical part of the show? Because you know everything that you just asked. That has to be rhetorical because they're nowhere and they're not going to be anywhere. I mean, these fuckers' presence, and you know, and I'm telling you, every time I cut through that damn park, there are so many police there. I don't feel, you know, you would assume that a person would feel more security. I feel less security.
Yeah.
I feel, because I'm like, yo, what are these guys going to say? Oh, I'm riding a bike with my light. You know, you often ride without a helmet. Oh, they're going to fuck with me for some reason. I'm nervous when I go through there and see all of those police.
Well, it's, you know, the question with the police department, especially NYPD, is, you know, their motto is to serve and protect. But the question has always been who.
Yeah,
I can tell you who.
Yeah.
Right, but
Not us.
that's the thing. You know, it's not necessarily us who they're serving or protecting. I mean, there's been times where you look at the motto "serve and protect," where you can be in need, not necessarily die in need, but I mean, car broke down in the middle of the street, and a cop would just drive right by you. Like,
Yo, my homeboy.
I'm not saying pull me over, but can you see if I'm okay?
Well, my homeboy said something to me yesterday, and he's black, and he's a cyclist. He needs an orthodontist, but that doesn't mean anything.
Wow.
No, I mean, I'm whatever. In any case, so he was at his job, right? He does contracting and stuff like that, and it's like he does a bike messenger, but he's a bike messenger, but he also does like contracting on the side. But he was working on, I believe he said it was like 43rd and 9th Street or something like that, right? He chains his bike up. And, these people wanted his bike, so they basically took the scaffolding apart. They unscrewed the scaffolding to get this dude's bike. I mean, if somebody wants your bike, they want your bike. And he said he went to the police station right around the corner there and said, hey, here's my ID. My name is XYZ, and I want to report my bike stolen. I was working at so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. I parked my bike out there. There's a camera down the block, so, maybe you can do whatever. And he said the cop looked at him and said, and he said, I was working and they stole my bike. He said the cop looked at him and said, I don't believe you. So then he said, if I told you to suck my dick, would you believe that? And he snatched his ID back and left. So I was like, yo, and this is literally, and he told me this yesterday.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
And he said he had to go back the next day because he still needed a police report. And finally another officer was like, yo, we want to apologize for that dude.
Well, that's the most shocking part of this fucking story.
Yeah, that's somebody else. And he said that the guy was a white guy that dissed him, and it was a brother that said he wanted to apologize for him. Because, like you said, you're supposed to protect and serve. It shouldn't, it doesn't matter what color you are when you come in there as a citizen. And I said the dude is at his job. His bike got pilfered. He wanted some justice done, and I don't believe you.
Well, tell the good folks out there something that they can do to combat the fucking pigs.
With these phones, which almost everyone has, this is the Galaxy phone, but if you had a Galaxy iPhone, any of the better smartphones out there with obviously with cameras, instead of recording directly to your hard drive, and that's the problem that these people make, the cops were able to go in there, rouse this guy, and most definitely take the phone, either throw it down and smash it, or pull the SIM card out, the memory card out, and snap it. Thus, the footage has not been released. There are several things like Ustream, Google Plus, and Quick, and other things like that. Justin TV has an app. There's a bunch of them to where you can stream real time. So therefore, if someone comes and snatches your phone, you'll actually be broadcasting right up until the point that they snatch your phone, and obviously implicating themselves because you'll see them, approaching your camera. That way, if anything should happen to you or your camera, the image and the footage is out there already. Stop recording directly to the phone and then thinking you're going to have time to then upload it. Stream it and just do it that way, because obviously these cops are out of hand and they're protecting themselves.
Exactly.
You'll come down with a severe case of broken phone-itis right away. He was running and he tripped and his phone went into the toilet or some convenient shit like that. No, stream live. These phones can stream live with a push of the button. The same button that you press to record to the hard drive, it will be the same button that you press to record and broadcast out there live. Once it's out there, they can't put the genie back in the bottle, and we could stop some of this fuckery going on here with these police officers.
These fucking pigs. If you're not going to shoot them, which is my suggestion, then record them and bring them to some type of fucking justice.
Yeah, I mean, and when I think of that, I mean, because I mean, what do you want to go with next? I do want to touch that NFL thing.
We're going to do that on the next segment.
Okay, so let me just touch this quickly because obviously this motherfucker hates the police, but I hate the government, so it's like it's one and the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, the DHS to buy 360,000 more rounds of hollow point ammunition. And I'm just going to read you a real quick point of this and tell you why this doesn't make any fucking sense. This was one of our first shows. We spoke about how much the DHS Homeland Security was buying all of these guns, these rounds that are illegal to use for warfare. So there's no reason why they should buy it. So all of the people out there are like, oh, they're buying it to train our soldiers. You cannot use hollow point rounds in war. You can't. They're illegal. So it's just breaking it down. While the Department of Homeland Security continues to ignore members of Congress demanded to know why the federal agency is engaged in an apparent arms buildup, the DHS has just announced its plans to purchase another 360,000 rounds of hollow point ammunition to add to the roughly $2 billion bullets bought over the past year. 2 billion rounds that are illegal in war. So what else are they going to use it for? Solicitation. Excuse me. Yeah, they're going to use it for us. Yeah. A solicitation on the Federal Business Opportunities website details the DHS's plan to purchase 360,000 rounds of commercial leaded training ammo. Yeah, okay. Pistol, .40 caliber, 165 grain, jacketed hollow point. The bullets are to be delivered to the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Artesia, New Mexico, the same destination for 240,000 hollow point rounds, which were purchased only last month. Although the DHS has attempted to explain its mammoth purchase of ammunition by claiming the bullets are being acquired in bulk to save money and that they are for training purposes only, this has been disputed by reputable voices such as former Marine Richard Mason, who told reporters with the WHP-TV News in Pennsylvania earlier this month, "We never trained with hollow points. We didn't even see hollow points my entire 4.5 years in the Marine Corps." Hollow point bullets are almost twice as expensive as full metal jackets. Therefore, the DHS's explanation that it is buying huge quantities in bulk to save money doesn't make sense. As we reported yesterday, concerns about the apparent arms buildup are growing, with retired United States Army Captain Terry M. Hestelau sending a letter to Senator John Cornyn from Texas, a Republican from Texas, and warning that ammo purchases represent a bold threat of war by the agency and the Obama administration against the citizens of the United States. Now, I could go on, but you have this sort of professional malfeasance and just abuse of power. You have a buildup of arms that you train, like the person said, training for what? You would not give and train a Marine with a bow and arrow knowing that he's not going to use the bow and arrow or the crossbow in actual applicable situations of warfare. So why would you say that you're going to train him with a round that he will never ever use in combat? And then the whole thing, you want to save money by buying a bullet that's twice as expensive as what you should be purchasing, doesn't hold water. I mean, there's definitely something going on. I'm going to link this obviously to all of the feeds, but I mean, when you have things like that going on, you have things like this going on. If people want to stick their head in the ground, you know, and act like a bunch of aardvarks or something like that, searching for ants, I mean, it's ridiculous. There's obviously something going on here, and it's definitely a cause for concern. It should be a cause for concern, but, you know, you got to keep your head out of those stupid reality shows and not necessarily study this shit every day, but this will affect you or somebody you know if this really hits the fan, because I can't understand why they would use these type of bullets when these are the kind of bullets that the drug dealers and everybody used to want to get, because when you shoot somebody, it explodes, it just destroys your internals. You know, why would you even purchase something like this if you're supposed to be Homeland Security? I don't understand it.
Well, of course there's no answer. Well, there's one answer, but you know what the answer is.
Yeah, of course.
Shoot the pigs.
2 billion rounds in 1 year?
Well, we'll be right back in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's 2 billion.